January 26, 2021. Just a couple days ago, the National Baseball Hall of Fame Museum election results were announced. Nobody got in. For the second time in 8 years, nobody got in. The writers have made the voting process about themselves and not about the players that they vote on every year. Curt Schilling has said some horrible, awful things. Things that I personally do not agree with. As a baseball player and as a pitcher, he's one of two men that I would want on the mound in a postseason game. The other one's John Smoltz. Their statistics in the postseason are second to none, and you can't ask for anything better. And a lot of love for Curt Schilling is because he pitched for the Red Sox, and I get that. Barry Bonds is the only 500 player in the history of Major League Baseball. And I know that some of you may not be baseball historians or fans, so I'm gonna just spell it out for you. Barry Bonds is the only player in the history of Major League Baseball, and I say 50 some odd year history of baseball. Only player to ever steal 500 bases and hit 500 home runs. He did that before he touched steroids. And I'll also point out that Barry Bonds never failed a test. Baseball turned a blind eye somewhat to steroids and let them happen. He wasn't necessarily cheating the game, because at the end of the day, he wasn't doing anything that baseball had said was wrong at that point. So, based on that evidence, Barry Bonds is a Hall of Famer. Because the Hall of Fame Museum, yes, the key word there is museum, is designed to tell the history of baseball. And steroid era, whether we like it or not, is a part of baseball history. Hank Aaron said in 2010 that he believed people deserve second chances. Hank Aaron's arguably the greatest baseball player of all time. You know, you can say that Mays was, or whoever, and whatever. Hank Aaron, 40 plus years after he retired, still has the record for total bases, extra base hits, and RBIs. 40 years after he's retired. God rest his soul. America lost a genuine icon. Greatest baseball player that I've ever known. And you know, for him to say that people deserve second chances, I believe that to be true. And Barry Bonds deserves a second chance at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, the history of baseball cannot be told properly without a representation of the steroid era to talk about it. You know, and two better people to do that are Clemens and Bonds. And Clemens won 7 MVP awards, or 7 Cy Young awards. Never has happened. Like, it probably will never happen again. Barry Bonds won 7 MVPs. Probably never going to happen again. He won 5 of those before he ever touched a steroid or rubbed the cream or whatever you want to say that Barry Bonds did. At the end of the day, he's in the Hall of Fame. He should be in the Hall of Fame because of what he did pre-steroids. He deserves. He should be able to be afforded that honor because give him a second chance, and he can stand there on the stage and talk about things, and get interviewed. Nobody got in this year, and this is just my opinion, that nobody got in this year because we all know what happened last year. And so Derek Jeter didn't get his weekend. And the 12 people who vote from the New York metro area didn't want Jeter's day to be overshadowed. And don't get me wrong, I think Derek Jeter's an all-time great in baseball. But at the end of the day, he would probably tell you that he believes that people who were on the ballot this year should have gone in. And, regardless of who these players are, he would tell you probably, yeah, they deserve to be in. Jeff Kent's a Hall of Famer. Andrew Jones is a Hall of Famer. Scott Rowland, probably, if you're going to give defensive props to Andrew Jones, as he deserves, he does. 10 straight Gold Glove awards in center field. Only 2 other people have done that. Willie Mays and King Griffey Jr. King Griffey Jr. is probably my favorite player of all time, to be honest. So, that's elite company that Andrew Jones is in. Scott Rowland, 8 Gold Glove awards. At third base, and that's not easy to do. That's not an easy position to play. It's hard. At the end of the day, Baseball Hall of Fame is a Hall of Fame and a museum. And you want to use the character clause for select people. And to me, it's garbage. Because, the Veterans Committee wants to keep out Dave Parker because of his involvement in the Pittsburgh drug trials. Well, they've already kind of screwed the pooch on that one because they elected Harold Baines. So Dave Parker's a Hall of Famer. Dale Murphy's a Hall of Famer. Jeff Kent's a Hall of Famer. Andrew Jones is a Hall of Famer. And then, people want to be, we want the Hall of Fame to be small. No. You want to keep the mystique. There's like the history of baseball, over 200,000 players or some ridiculous stat like that. Only like not even 1/3 of them are in the Hall of Fame. So I think more people should be elected. And I will say this: people who did not vote, and as was a record this year, 14 people did not vote for a single player. To me, that is inexcusable, and they should have their voting privileges taken away, because that is wrong. They're deserving players, and they just, we're going to leave this blank for whatever reason. These old curmudgeons and stuff, they I'd give just about anything to be able to vote for the Hall of Fame. And to have people not even take advantage of the opportunity that they've been afforded and not vote at all is an absolute travesty and an absolute dumb move on their parts. So, that's just my opinion.